One item that I forgot in the initial bill of materials is that we need to cut 4 pipe that fit right in here where the chain attaches. And a piece of 1/4-inch hot rolled steel goes through here. We weld that, put the chain through there, and then weld this in, and that's how the chain is held in. And you can't see it from the top. Anyway, you have to cut that pipe. I'm using 1-inch pipe, and I like to cut mine about 1 7/8, just so that it fits inside this rectangular tubing. So right from the inside to the outside is 1 7/8, and we'll cut 4 pieces of 1-inch black pipe. I just get this at the plumbing store, and pretty reasonably priced, and we'll cut that 1 7/8, cut 4 pieces of that. Okay, we got our 4 pieces of 1 7/8, 1-inch pipe cut. And the next thing that we have to cut is this 1/2-inch rod. And this rod will weld right on the edge of that, and inside the 5/16 bolt will be attached, and that's how you attach the Tensegrity chain. So I'm just going to cut this with my abrasive cutter since it's too short to stick in a bandsaw. I'm just going to use my abrasive wheel and cut that off real quick, and then stick it in the lathe, and we'll get a hole drilled in it and get that piece taken care of. I always wear gloves. I had this get away from me one day, and luckily it didn't. All it did was cut right through the glove. It missed my skin completely, so I got lucky. Okay, that's done. Now over to the lathe. Using a 5/16 drill, and go right through it. All right, let's see what we do. Here's our 5/16 bolt. That's just about right. Fit right there, and we'll weld those on both ends. A piece of chain will fit right there once we weld it onto the bolt. And that's how we get our tension. That's how it holds it in position. Now my next step is I've got to lay out here every place I've ground down to drill a couple of holes. What the holes are for, I'm going to use this 1-inch pipe right here, and it'll fit right up in to the tubing, and the chain attaches to that so you can't see it from the front. There's the top, and it's kind of an invisible way to mount the chain. And also on the bottom, we'll have to drill a smaller hole right here, and that's so you can get up in there, and I don't know if you can see there, there's where you can put the bolt. So you need a way to get your fingers in a socket up in there to tighten that bolt down to that 5/16 nut. So we'll lay these out and then go on over to the drill press and drill them. For the big hole, just use a Milwaukee hole saw, 1 3/8 for the inch pipe. For the smaller hole, just use one of these bits. I like to start off with a bit there, and Here's the old drill press. Has quite a bit of run out, but I'm not making anything machine grade. It'll work for this. So next step will be drilling. Okay, I've got the top piece ready to go. I've taken the coupons out. These are the coupons that were used for the hole saw, and might have used for this someplace. Forgot to have my welding jacket on when I was welding the other pieces, so I put the welding jacket back on. Got my amperage turned back up to 125, and let me get a rod. One thing that I do, since I hate to have 3 foot of rod hanging over my shoulder when I'm welding, I normally take a rod and snip it in half. Then I don't have so much rod hanging out that I have to deal with. And so what we'll do, this new position, get my armrest, and these pieces here will go into here. You see how nice they fit, 1 7/8, fits right to the bottom. These will go into the bottom and get screwed where we drill those other holes. So that's essentially what we're doing here. You don't have to be super precise, just get her in there, get ground on it, and weld it up. Okay, the next step is that we need to attach this piece here to the end of this piece here, both pieces. So I've got this propped up. Since this is about a 1/2 inch, I've got it propped up with a 1/4 inch piece. Table must be warped a little bit because it didn't look quite in the center, so I've got a little piece of sheet metal there. And I'll go ahead and get this tacked up and weld it on out. Might have to move my tungsten out a little bit, get in there. Okay. I guess I need my damn helmet. That would help. My helmet and my welding spectacles because I can't see. Alright, now we're ready. Okay, it's time to put the supports on. This is the bottom piece I'm working on right now. And the way I like to do it, I use my blue Sharpie. Right, since it's 20 inches here, 10 inches is in the middle, I go an eighth on each side, since that's a quarter. And I'm going to put this angle right here, right on the line. And we'll hold it in place. And I might need my hammer. Get that just right. Because these you want to have in the center as much as possible. Use the right tool for the job. Okay, that's good. So we got that there. And we place this here. We'll come right to here. Make sure that's correct. And then what we'll do is we'll clamp this so it doesn't tend to warp and pull as much as it would otherwise. Then we'll weld them up on one side. Let it cool. As much as possible, I'd like to try to get that as square as possible. A little gap there. I'm using that square. That's looking pretty close. On this side. Alright, I'm going to use about 130 amps. Come across here, make a felt weld, and let it cool. Okay, it's confession time. If you look closely, the last video I had welding, the chains were on the bottom. I got the piece all welded up, took it over to the assembly point and thought, son of a gun, that's wrong. So rather than cut it apart, grind it, and lie to you and tell you this is how it was all done perfectly the first time, nope, I screwed up. So now after I've cut the piece apart, ground it all down, it's on the correct side this time. So you get hung up on trying to do the right thing and you let your mind wander and you screw up. Fortunately, it wasn't anything serious. I was able to fix it. So when we do the table assembly and you see a shiny mark on the top, that's where I ground that son of a gun down at and had to take it off. So it's correct now. Just notice that it was on the incorrect side. I'm not going to make you watch me weld it again. So I'll get welded on the correct side, let it cool down, weld the other side, and then we'll move on to final assembly. Okay, now it's getting close to assembly time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this bottom piece assembled, and then we can measure the distance of chain we need here and get that put on. So, just the right size. And I like to put these on maybe where 3 threads are showing, so we do have a little bit of adjustment. I'm using a 1/2 inch deep well, and it just fits right in there. And puts a little bit of twist on there. All right. All right, now we've got all these pieces put in. Ideally, there won't be much tension at all on these chains. All the tension is between these two. So, let's see what we got. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other chain with the bolt attached to it. I'm going to measure down to here and see how long we got, and then I'll cut that, weld this other one on, and essentially we'll be done with this table. Okay, we are ready for final assembly. I got my tension chain all made up, and we'll put her together, see what it looks like. I'm going to start off with that about there. And since this is the bottom, I'm going to do more of the adjustment down here. See, these chains are loose, they shouldn't hold it up. And now, it's a moment of truth. If I can get off the floor again, crawl over here and work myself up. All right. Okay, let's see if it stands up. There we go. Just need a little bit more adjustment, and it'll be all made. So that's the Tensegrity table, all complete. And I'm going to make a top for it. I'm not sure what I want to make, what kind of top I want to make for it, but maybe you guys could list a suggestion what kind of like you'd see. I've got some Marlon Labe, don't take it from me, the Gadsden flag. I've got some military stuff, got family tree. You can see back there I've got the Navy, Semper Fortis Navy, and there I've got the Marlon Labe. I've got one of those made, and I've got a family tree there made. So kind of give me what idea what you'd like to see, and I'll go ahead and try to draw one up and make a video on that. Also going to make a video, I've made several of these in wood, with the top and bottom in wood and the steel on the side. And let me know if you'd like to see one of those made, because they're a little bit different. Obviously there's no welding on them, but they go together a little bit different. Also looking at different ways to support it. The pieces that I have right here, I just drew those up on AutoCAD and cut them out on the plasma machine. Thinking of another design to make. Not quite sure what I want to make yet, but I'll have to think of something. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and let me know what you think. Thank you.